Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Saturday, December 7th, 2024. If you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most in college basketball and other sports, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab of pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Saturday in college basketball. First up, we have Clemson and Miami. This one's going to be 12 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2, and this is a conference game in the ACC, the first conference game for either of these teams. And we actually talked about both of these teams recently. On Tuesday, we took Miami plus the points against Arkansas. They covered for us in that one. We took Clemson on plus the points or money line against Kentucky, and they won that game against Kentucky 70-66, upset victory. For me, in this game, I do think it's a bit of a letdown spot for Clemson after a big upset win over the number 4 team at the time in the AP polls. And I think Clemson's a very talented team and a team that'll finish in the near the top in the ACC standings by the end of the season. But I also think Miami right now is severely undervalued. And they were playing really well against Arkansas in that game. I thought their defense really improved. Miami was ahead in that one for a large majority of that game. In fact, they were up by as many as 11 points in that one. So I do think that there were some positive signs in that game for the Canes. Pack also returned, Nigel Pack, which was a bit of a surprise. I didn't think he was going to be ready to go, but he played, and he is a 44% three-point shooter, a very experienced guard. So that's a big player back in the lineup for the Canes. And I think they have a chance to end this losing streak. This is still a very potent offense. I think at least they cover the number like they did against Arkansas. So I'm going to take the points with the Canes in what should be a pretty competitive game. Next up, we have Nebraska and Michigan State in the Big Ten. This one also 12 p.m. Eastern, early game. It's going to be on the Big Ten Network. I think this is going to be a great game, but I think the value lies with Nebraska in this one. I think the Cornhuskers are an elite defensive team. They're right now 26th in adjusted defensive efficiency. I think those numbers continue to improve. They force a lot of turnovers. They're a good rebounding team. They're disciplined, and they're also a really experienced team. They've played a couple of games away from home this season, a neutral site game against St. Mary's where they covered the number, losing by just 3. And then they have the true road win over Creighton, which now looks even more impressive after Creighton just knocked off Kansas the other day. It's not an easy place to play, and Nebraska went to Creighton and beat them by 11 points. So I really think this is a solid Nebraska team this year. Michigan State, well coached. This is a program that year after year puts together strong campaigns, but we've seen them in their step-up games not play the best. They have the win over North Carolina, but needed overtime to do so. Lost to Memphis, lost to Kansas. I think Nebraska, at the very least, covers the number, but has a real chance to win this one outright. In our next game, we go to the Horizon League as Northern Kentucky takes on IU Indy. This one is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern. It's on ESPN+. A little bit of an under-the-radar game for Saturday. I know there's some big games on the board. We talked about a couple of them. But some of these, smaller programs, smaller conference games, you can find some good value. And I think this is an opportunity. You look at the records on paper, Northern Kentucky 2-6, IU Indy at 5-5. You wouldn't want necessarily on paper to lay this many points with the Norse on the road. But I do think they are the much better team. I think we're getting a really good price because the Norse are 2-5 or 2-6. And I like their chances to win this game and cover the number. IU Indy, I think, is much improved. I mean, we got to remember that last season this team only won 6 games. The year before, this team only won 5 games. So they have been a program really struggling. They're kind of in the first year of a rebuilding stage. They have a lot of Division II players that have a lot of talent. And I think they're going to be a lot more competitive this year in the Horizon League than those last 2 seasons. But I also think that Northern Kentucky is still one of the best teams in this conference. Defensively, shot quality-wise, they are one of the better teams in mid-major college basketball. They force a lot of turnovers without being undisciplined and without taking a lot of fouls. That's the key for me because IU Indy does a good job of getting to the free throw line, and they're actually a really good free throw shooting team, 10th best in the country. But Northern Kentucky, I think, will be able to keep IU Indy off the line in this game. I think Northern Kentucky's offense gets going against one of the worst, right now ranked 363rd in terms of adjusted defensive efficiency that the Jaguars have. I think Northern Kentucky runs away with this one on the road. Give me NKU. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, Washington State and Boise State. This one 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Washington State's coming off the upset win over Nevada. They were a double-digit dog in that game. They won by 11 points, 68-57. One of the best defensive showings we've seen from Washington State in a long time. And their defense, top 65 in adjusted defensive efficiency to start the year. But I do expect a bit of a letdown in this game. And while I think the Cougars are going to go on to give Gonzaga and St. Mary's a run for their money in the West Coast this year, I don't love this matchup. And I really think Boise State is a team flying under the radar right now. They have the bad loss against Boston College. The other loss against San Francisco is not too bad, especially with how well San Francisco's been playing. But I still think Boise State's got a nice balanced team. They've got some experience, some young and up-and-coming players. They're very fundamentally strong. Take care of the basketball. Good rebounding team. They get to the free throw line. They score a lot of their points from the charity stripe, 25% of them, and they're an excellent free throw shooting team percentage-wise. Fourth best in the country, right around 82%. In a game that, you're looking to cover the spread as a favorite, and if it's going to come down to free throws at the end, you want a sharp free throw shooting team like Boise. And I think this matchup benefits the Broncos. It's a semi-home game, not a true home game for Boise. But like I said, Washington State's coming off the road victory, upset victory. I think it's a bit of a letdown here. Give me Boise State. I'm going to lay the points with the Broncos. And the final game we're to talk about for the Saturday card in college basketball, it's UNLV and Creighton. This one 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Now, similar to what we just talked about with Clemson after its upset win over Kentucky, I am looking to fade Creighton in this spot, at least against the spread. I could certainly see Creighton winning this game, but in terms of the spread, I do think they're laying too many points, and I think it's a letdown spot. I'm going to go with UNLV here. I think this is a running Rebels team that right now is underrated, undervalued. They lost the last two games, and in terms of the teams that they played, not bad losses. You would have liked to see that Mississippi State score be a little bit more competitive than 80-58, but I still think this is a very talented UNLV team. It's going to pull off some big wins in Mountain West play this year. Fundamentally, I do think that UNLV has the advantage in the turnover battle. They force a lot of turnovers. They take care of the basketball, and Creighton's not been doing a great job of really on both of those fronts to start the year. I mean, they're ranked 250th in turnover percentage offensively. Not the greatest offensive rebounding team. They're not getting to the free throw line much. So, give Creighton all the credit in the world for that big upset win over Kansas, but I do think they're a bit overvalued in this game because of it, and I think UNLV has a chance to win this game outright, but at least covers a number. Give me the points with the running Rebels. And that's it. Those are the games for Saturday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and put those college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, including my bank shop best bet, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.